Good morning. Oh my goodness. What am I doing? Happy Monday. Where is everybody? Oh, there we go. There we go. We're here. Happy Monday. I hope everybody had a great weekend, got some rest and relaxation. Um, Welcome to Mindset Monday, where independent patient advocates like us come together to start the week with positivity and inspiration. I'm Nicole Broadhurst, and we're waiting for my co host, Kayla Thompson Riviere. Today, we're focusing on authenticity and well being, and we have a really powerful quote to guide us through this new week of advocacy. So let's dive in and get inspired. I think that was Kayla that just jumped in. It is. Let's see here. There she is. Good
Good
morning, Miss
morning.
Kayla. How are you?
I'm okay. Sorry to keep everyone waiting.
No worries. We were just getting started. Just getting started.
My
Talking about. Oh, go ahead.
my husband and my baby took turns keeping me awake after
Oh,
about 4 this morning onward.
nice.
So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just that kind of snowballed into
That's a
everything
bad
else.
time too. Like
I know it
you
was
know what I
like too
mean?
early for me to commit to just getting up. And I was
Right,
like,
right.
I'll just push back my alarm and like get a little more rest. And then they had other plans for me.
That is, I can relate to that. Like waking up just like there's this little place in the middle of the morning where it's like, oh, it's too early to get up, but it's too late to really get more sleep. So,
I mean,
you
I
know,
would have done it, but that
yeah,
they said no. In not so many
I
words.
love it. I love
But
it. Yeah.
anyways, to get us back on, where's the quote?
Yeah. Yeah, so I know, right? So I'm trying to, we have been talking a lot in the strategic planning crew and inside of the circle around systems and how to implement systems and that type of thing. And so one of the things that I am working on is streamlining the production for Mindset Monday. And one of the steps is adding the quote to this background card, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if we really need that. Is that right? And so I'm like, yeah, we may not. We may, but we may not. And so I was trying to get a background card and an intro video that was set up that we could reuse week after week, as opposed to having to change it every week.
Gotcha.
So I know you read off of that, and so I apologize because we did not talk about this
We sure
beforehand.
didn't. That's okay. I pulled it up.
So, but that's kind of what I'm thinking because, like I said, I need to streamline Mindset Monday a little bit more, just a little bit more in my processes, so that it's not taking so much of my energy and time. I love doing the
Yeah.
live. It's just
Yeah,
the
yeah.
operational stuff. So do you have the quote? Because if not,
I
I do.
do. I pulled it up. Yeah.
Fantastic. What are we talking about this morning?
So today's topic is, what day are we on? Man, you already crossed it off the list.
Oh,
Authenticity and well-being. And it comes to us from Ralph Waldo Emerson, who says, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment.
ooh, and if you didn't just sigh a big breath of relief, I don't know. I need to know more of you because this is something that I need reminding of every single day. Hey, Samir. Hey, Kathleen. Hey, Pamela. Hey, Tamika. Just wanted to say hello to everyone in the chat this morning. I need this reminder every single day, maybe hourly. I don't know. What about you, Kayla? Is it something that you struggle with, or is it something you feel like you've kind of?
I think I've mentioned before on here that I have some unidentified form of neurodivergence, and so some of the like fit in the box programming just did not come installed on my hard drive.
Not a bad thing.
Right. Yeah,
Not a bad thing.
it presented a lot of struggles in the first 2 decades, but it's paying off now. So it's a very always a useful reminder, but not one of the particular set of challenges that's as high on my list personally. Both a blessing and a curse. But I did want to point out that talking about operational things with Mindset Monday, I have been tired of coming on here Monday morning at 9:02 a.m. and realizing I have no idea who the author of our quote is. So I made a point on Friday to look it up, and I am going to, by golly day, share who this man is. So Ralph Waldo Emerson, that's his name, right? Let me make sure. Shoot, I got the right person.
Yes, it
is an American essayist, lecturer, philosopher, minister, abolitionist, and poet.
Yes.
He helped to lead the transcendentalist movement in the mid-19th century, which I also looked up because I was not familiar with that. And that it is the concept of leaning into intuitive experiences and universal unity. So I was like,
Yeah, I kind of, if you're not familiar with some of his writings, he is certainly someone to kind of pay attention to. I appreciate a lot of his work, so thank you very much. That is something that
I'm very intrigued by his resume, for lack of better terms. So I think I will be looking more into his stuff. Nicole, I am just now, I didn't even realize how much I look at the quote when we're talking. Until it's not there.
Okay. No, that's good, because maybe we need to put that in there. I'm literally
going to pop it out as a separate window right now.
Like, I am literally making an SOP for CJ so that he can start doing all of the Mindset Monday work. So if that's something that we need, oh no, my light, it just...
I see that. Nicole's in the dark.
Right. I know, right? It's very fickle.
It's one of those things. Have you ever had this experience where you don't realize how much you look at the time until you don't have your watch on?
Yes.
That's what it feels like right now. So here's a little peek behind the curtain, guys. Nicole preps a whole thing for Mindset Monday with her talking points and challenges and all that. Your girl here does not. Okay. I look at the quote on Friday. And I plug it into my weekly schedule. So this will be at the top of my agenda all week. And I get some thoughts around it. And then the whole, really all of this bounces back between me and Nicole. And it's very organic on my end.
Yes.
It's pretty organic on her end too, but more structured. But I'm realizing that I'm constantly looking at the quote to make sure that I'm staying on topic.
See, that's so funny, because Kayla, really, my structure is all beforehand. Once I show up here, the structure's kind of gone. I just peek at those talking points every once in a while, because this conversation is very organic. We use the quote, but then everything around the quote is super organic. It's not scripted or anything. And I think this is a good recording to see that, because we're going very
clearly off script. Yeah, let's give the people what they came here for. So you have some thoughts on this topic. You already asked me mine, and it wasn't super helpful.
Well, I thought that this might be the case, because sometimes we get these quotes where it's a challenge for me and it's not so much a challenge for you. And I think that's why this is a great conversation around this stuff. So for me, it is really hard to be authentic. That is work for me. And we can literally, y'all aren't my therapist, so don't it doesn't need to be that deep, but this is the truth, right? I have lots of pre-installed operating systems inside of me that bring a lot of fear around being truly authentic about who I am and what I think and how I work and what's going on inside of me, and just being myself. I have spent a lot of years trying to fit in to the box. And I tell this story a lot in regards to my corporate career in healthcare. My team always knew when I showed up, in the morning, if we were going to have corporate visitors, or if I was headed to corporate, or, because I looked different, I sounded different, I wore different clothes, I had different jewelry on, there were lots of things. And that's just indicative and one example of how, trying to fit into a box really kept me not doing the work or serving the people that I was designed to do or serve.
Right.
And so this quote just really reminds me that for some of us, this unleashing of our authenticity and challenging of the status quo and breaking free from boxes and expectations from others and all of that stuff is a challenge, and at the same time can be our greatest achievement. Just these last 6 years, the work that I've done since I left corporate healthcare has been so much more rewarding and so much more fulfilling for me as a person, that I wish I had understood and known that was available to me 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. And I'm super grateful that I've found the courage to be this authentic and to just show up and be, look, I'm in my workout clothes, right? I just did my Pilates for the day. It's okay, because this is who I am and this is how I show up. And if y'all want to hang out, great. And if not, well, that's great too. There's other people.
Right, exactly.
Right. So, I think for me, that's one of the biggest talking points that I wanted to talk about, is because the other piece of that is, once I found the courage to do that, be that authentic and show up this way, it's created so much trust. I have an amazing network of people around me, with good quality relationships, and more than I've ever had in my whole life. Right.
And let's just make a little plug for a minute. Even since you started your business 6 years ago, I would say this last 90 days has been you really stepping into full, transparent authenticity.
Yeah.
You just rolled up to a nude beach here in our industry, basically.
Mm-hmm. I think
that's terrifying.
It is. And that, more than most. If you're here for Mindset Monday, you also know, because you've seen and heard me share some of this journey around, really stepping into that level of authenticity and willingness to have those conversations. And it is hard, and it is challenging, and it is crazy rewarding at the same time. So I think that building that trust and finding the courage to be who you are, and it builds the relationships and the trust with the people in the world that are meant to be in our world.
Exactly. And that's the thing. And that's the piece that I think, because it's like short-term pain for long-term gain, right? And
yes,
we tend to get put off by that pain, discomfort, challenge, whatever, words you want to use there. But, sticking on the example of you, and I'll say your leadership in these past couple months here in our industry, it's ruffled some feathers. It's left some people unhappy. It's surfaced some challenges between relationships, and a really hard look at who is and who isn't in the circle, and what the box is, and who made the box, and where the box is at, and all of these things.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the more that you have stepped up to kind of say what a lot of people have been thinking, it's drawing people in closer. And there's I truly believe there's more people that we haven't reached yet with this message, but who are looking for exactly what you're saying and your guidance and your vision. And had you kept playing it safe, so to speak, you know, it's not even just you, it's the ripple effect of everybody who you're touching with this. And that principle, I think, can be applied universally when we talk about standing in our true authentic selves. It really, like, even when I think about it with me, with my work, like, yeah, it's really great for me. Like, it's been very fulfilling to, you know, build a business that is a reflection of myself and my greatest gifts. Like, there's a lot that fills my cup from it. But for me, it's not even about that. It's the impact that I'm able to have on my clients who prior to me did not have an avenue or a pathway. You know, my direct intervention has been the difference between life or death on more than one client. And, you know, I have a client right now who has openly shared in a Google review that she was just ready to give up before working with me. And that's the stuff that really matters. And had I continued, because I did for a couple of years, like, you know, my background is as a nurse, for those who don't know. And I wasn't a nurse for very long before I started to really have to wrestle with how dissatisfied I was with it. Simply because, like, what you the image of, like, what being a nurse is that was sold to me, essentially. I always joke what was on the brochure versus what's in real life at the bedside. Like, it was just too completely, vision and reality did not line up at all for me. And I wrestled for a long time with self-judgment, honestly, because I couldn't shake this feeling that I was meant to do something more, to have a greater impact. And I was like, who are you? Like, plenty of people have a whole career in nursing and, like, are fulfilled by that. Like, who are you to think that there must be something more? So I went through that piece of it, which is a layer to this. I think that, you know, it's a little, but it's less about the outsiders' judgments, which I think is what a lot of this comes to, and more about, like, I didn't even know what a pathway would be. I just, you know, it's weird when when you have this innate sense of, like, I'm supposed to be doing something more. And, like, I don't come from a line of entrepreneurs or anything like that. I actually was raised, I finished high school in 2010. Great economic time. And I would say that my parents hold, you know, if you're not familiar with the terms, it's like there's a concept of, like, how do you think about money? Do you have an abundance mindset that, you know, money is everywhere and, like, can be attracted to you and can be made in many ways? Or do you have more of a scarcity mindset where you have to, you know, you have to work very hard to make money? My parents very much have a scarcity mindset around money, and that was very much instilled in me. And then when the stock market crashed in 08, they lost a lot. And so that already scarcity mindset was just, like, cranked to 10, right? And like, there were things I wanted to do, and I kind of, with my life, and I kind of got pushed into this pathway because it was heavily impressed upon me that, like, no, you have to have, like, a safe, stable job. And, like, what's a safer, more stable job than nursing? Until, fast forward, there's a worldwide respiratory pandemic when you're 7 months pregnant. And my husband and I made the difficult choice to keep me and the baby safe and put me out of work. And I was the breadwinner. And I was like, well, that's weird. Like, I thought.
That was supposed to be stable and safe.
Yeah. So safety is an illusion.
Yes. Safety is a mindset, I think.
I think even more
Yeah,
so. I
actually,
think safety is a mindset, right?
yes, resilience. It's interesting you say that, because
Yes.
I have now gotten to a point through all the work that has gone alongside and propelled entrepreneurship. It's interesting. It occurred to me one day a couple months ago, like, I'm not scared of losing everything. Like, I don't want to, obviously, but like,
Right.
it doesn't terrify me the
Right.
way it used to. Like, what if something, like when I first started my business, like what if it goes really bad and like we lose the house? Like, I don't know. Like, that was a big fear when I decided to start a business with no business background and nobody in my life who has done anything remotely close.
Right.
And like, I don't worry about that anymore, because I'm like so doubled down and invested in me and my level of resourcefulness. And like, I truly, to my core, believe now, like, we'll figure it out, whatever it is in that sentence.
Yes.
Now we're getting
Yes.
into resiliency, which is a
I
different
know.
pillar.
It is.
I would love to bring it back on topic, but I can't see the quote.
I know. So this is about being your authentic self is your greatest accomplishment. That's what this is about. And I think that it goes all over the place, because I think that all of these pillars are intertwined and required in order to do this. But I think what I'm hearing you say is that, breaking out of this pre-programmed mindset or box that you were gently guided into, or maybe even forcefully stuffed into, right, has been a challenge. And like I said, that I think what we're getting into is really the second point that I wanted to talk about, is that this authenticity and well-being for us as individuals really requires internal alignment. And when we try to mold ourselves into everyone else's expectation, we lose energy, we lose joy, we lose clarity, and it's really a fast track to burnout.
You lose yourself. I mean,
right? Exactly, because we become whatever it is somebody else thinks we need to be or become. And in order for us to get back into wellness and alignment with ourselves, we've got to get clear about our values, firm on our boundaries, set our own goals with our own tone, not without reference to the outside noise, because there is always outside noise and it can get very, very loud. And I think that's what makes being so authentic so hard, right? Is because we have to get the stuff that we talk about here on Mondays has to be louder than the things we hear all the rest of the week around us, in order for us to stay in alignment and maintain our own well-being. And that, I think, is the real challenge, is how do we do that? And I think one of the things you already mentioned, and I do this too, is I take our quote and I put it, and I literally write it every single day into my daily planner, so that I'm reading it every day and thinking about it and making sure that I'm remembering this conversation, so that I can say, you know what, I need to stay true to this. This is challenging for me today, and I'm going to do it because my well-being deserves it. The people I serve deserve it. I deserve it. All of the things, right? And that's where, like, it's my, it leads into the third point I wanted to say, is it leads me to being my own unique self, which is in and of itself my advantage in this world. It is the only thing I bring every single day that makes me different from everybody else everywhere on the planet, right?
right.
And man, that just feels so empowering. Like, I don't have to try and be like everybody else, because I am uniquely me and you are uniquely you. And that is our superpower.
It is. And I feel that, like, buckle up, y'all, we're about to get a little woo. But I do feel that, like, there is like a almost cosmic sense of duty to find that self, that purpose, and step into it. Like you were not put here to shove yourself into some rando's box. By the way, that box that people try to fit into is the mold of a factory worker. Like it was created in the Industrial Revolution. How do we take people and make them good factory workers who can abide by the bells and the shifts and blah, blah, blah. And that is why the school system, the American school system, was designed the way it was, to condition people from the outset to be working drones for someone else. That's why nobody likes that box. It wasn't made for your soul.
Right? So true. So true. And
but like, there's a reason you're here. There's a reason that you're here. You have a gift, a specific, unique ability that only you can fulfill in this specific way. And there are people out there who need that. And you owe it to yourself and you owe it to them to step into, hone, and master that unique ability to do good in this world.
Right. I love it.
And when I get scared or when I don't want to do something, you know, those are the things that I remind myself. I'm like, Kayla, it ain't even about you. Sit down.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I can't, that's so true. And, you know, and I just want to say, my experience with this has been a little bit interesting, because I am finding that I didn't even, when I set out 6 years ago for this business, I didn't have any idea the trajectory that it was going to take me. I had literally zero. And what I am finding is that I am finding myself in places that I did not ask to be. Like literally, like I did not ask to be in certain places, in certain roles, doing certain things. And the only thing that keeps me showing up and doing these things is the fact that there are people relying on me to do it. And that is the truth. And so when things get challenging, I want everyone to remember that no matter how challenging they are, there are people relying on you to do it and to make the hard decisions and to do the hard things and to continue showing up and to continue being who you are so that you could inspire them to be who they are and to get what they need and to all of the things. And so I'm trying to look over here and find out, because I know we're running out of time. This is crazy. So I wanted to say my challenge to everybody this week is this. I want to know one thing that you are choosing to stay true to yourself this week. One way that you're choosing to stay true to yourself this week, even when the world pushes you to be or do something else. Like, what is your hard thing? We talk about it a lot, right? Like, there is a hard thing. We all have one. What's the hard thing this week that you're going to do because it's in alignment with who you are and you're going to resist all of the noise out in the world? I want to know what it is. And I want to root you on. I want to cheer you on, and I want to support you in that, because that's what we all need. We all need a group of community that's cheering us on in those moments and helping us stay true to who we are.
And my challenge for you this week is to tighten up your filter for that noise. Get yourself some noise canceling headphones. Are you scrolling social too much? Are you getting pulled into negative rabbit holes you don't like? Do you find yourself binge watching bad news?
These are all distractions.
And like they're not serving. And like this is actually a frequent topic between me and my husband, because he's somebody who he will binge watch the TikToks about all the political nonsense, and like he just wants to talk about it. And I'm like, babe, I can't. Like I stand in a position where I'm like I like to read the headlines, be informed, like have an informed opinion about things. But
Right.
beyond that, I'm not going to allow it to keep being in my world and on my mind, because it's taking up resources that I need to use in a much more valuable way. And but it's like so sneaky. And like a lot of times you don't realize like how much stuff is racking around in your brain. So that's my challenge this week, is do a little inventory of what's racking around up there and see if there's stuff taking up space and not paying rent. Kick it out.
Amen, sister. I hear that. Get rid of it. I agree with that. So oh my gosh, that's probably a whole topic in and of itself, like filtering out the noise. Like we need to do a whole half hour on filtering out the noise. What are some strategic ways to do that? In this
well, maybe these will be some of the things that we put in our new monthly sessions for the vault members.
Yes. Speaking of which, that's really interesting, Kayla, because this whole vault is evolving. So if you've not, I think we have 5 or 10 spots left in the founding members. I know we had a bunch of you join over the weekend. Welcome. Super excited for that. But one of the things, actually, we've added 2 things. One, you're getting that monthly strategic call with me, and you're also getting the monthly mindset call with Kayla. The other thing that I want to let everybody know is that we are also we will be putting the Mindset Monday videos inside of the vault, along with resources and journaling prompts and things like that will help you take implementation on the Mindset Monday conversations that we're having as well.
So wait, so you're saying that the vault is no longer just a vault, it's also a low-key coaching program.
Yes.
Just like Nicole, to undersell and over-deliver.
Always, every time, Kayla, every time. Undersell, under-promise, over-deliver is my motto. So if you have not jumped into the video vault, please do so at this founding member rate, because it is growing. You guys know me. Every time I can think of something that's going to add value and make it just a little bit better for you, we're putting it in there. So like I said, you've got the vault itself with all of the implementation tools. Now you have the strategic call with me every month. You have the mindset call with Kayla every month. And we're adding all of these Mindset Mondays with journaling prompts and support resources there as well. Get in now. That's all I'm going to say. Just get in now. And if you don't know how, DM me, send me a message. We'll get you the link to get started. All right. We are out of time. And I want to hear all of the ways that you are filtering out the noise. Kayla wants to hear that. I'm going to listen. Course. How are you filtering out all of the noise? And then what is your one thing that you are working really hard on right now to maintain your authenticity in spite of all of the noise? Those are the things we want to hear from you this week. Have an amazing week, you guys. See you on Wednesday. And don't forget, next Monday, same time, same place. We'll be right back here for more inspiration and positivity. Have a great week, y'all.